My third guy plays some games. Alright, hi y'all, Weather Guy here. We are back with more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are on Twisted Karma in its last battle, and looks like we're getting into another investigation phase after Mr. Vigil fainted at trial. We're at Sholmes' suite. Let's see what's going on. Still can't quite believe what just happened. I know, I inquired with the bailiff after the court session was adjourned, and it seems Mr. Vigil was taken to hospital to recover. Oh, he didn't die. That's good. I thought he died. Excuse me. Right. 10 years ago now, Miss Vigil attempted to commit suicide by jumping out of the window of the prison governor's office. Oh! But ever since then, he's completely blocked the memory of those events from his mind. Nobody knew his secret, not his family, not even the man himself, but I forced it out into the open. I didn't realize that when I saw the last cutscene, that was him actually jumping out the window. Did I overset the mark, I wonder? Is that... yeah, it's Iris. Oh, Iris! You were miles away. Anyway, I brewed a fresh pot of soothing tea for you. Oh, thank you. You and Susie have had an exhausting day so far, haven't you? Oh! Thank you, Iris. How thoughtful of you. You happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is? When we came out of the courtroom back into the defense antechamber, he disappeared. Oh, no, I don't know. He just suddenly sprang to his feet and left. All he said was, I must leave. I wonder if he's pursuing the mystery of Inspector Grexon's death. Well, you know what Hurley's always saying, don't you? There are mysteries in this world that should perhaps never be solved. This one needs to be solved, though. For the construction of a solution comes only at the expense of the destruction of something else. What does that mean? He knows very well that when you open someone else's old wounds, you often open your own too. He just can't take his own advice and leave well alone. Solving mysteries is too important to him. That's so true. That's what I like about Hurley after all. I suppose that's a lot of a great detective in some ways. So then, let's have tea, and then I'll give you a hand. Oh, do you have time, Iris? Yes, I finished this month's manuscript at last. Barely a day to spare before the deadline. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. A brand new story to read in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. You know, I always hide Hurley's violin in the days before I have a deadline. You do? Poor Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure that's very wise, Iris. How sensible of you. Now then, my dear fellows, let's make a plan of action before we continue our investigation. Alright, we have to do some talking. Is there new stuff here to examine? No, it doesn't seem like it. Good. That is one of the most tedious parts of this game, is re-examining these rooms over and over, especially when there's nothing significant that has changed. But it is what it is, right? We're just double checking to make sure that there is nothing new. Doesn't seem to be. So that's all good. Okay, with that, I guess we'll just talk to her. Is there anywhere to move? A few places. Oh, his hospital bed is an option too. That's gonna be interesting. Okay. So, how did it go in court this morning? Well, we still don't know the truth about what really happened, but one thing's increasingly clear. Lord Van Zieks definitely didn't do it. Oh, goody! Yes, that's right. We managed to uncover several new facts as well. Oh, really? And there was another development too. Kazuma. Yes, it's quite clear now that Kazuma is not himself. The way he's acting, it's almost as if he's possessed. I know, I mean, at the end of the proceedings earlier, he was like a bloodhound the way he was chasing down Mr. Vigil's forgotten past. He's not normally so mercilessly persistent. What's going on in his head, I wonder? I really need to sit down with Kazuma and try to understand what he's going through. Gregson was really murdered the day before his body was discovered, Lord Van Zieks has to be innocent, you see. What? The day before? Well, that should be easy enough to work out. Just by examining the corpse, surely. Yes, you would expect so, but curiously, no time of death was included in the autopsy report. That is curious. There are still unanswered questions about Lord Van Zieks, though, aren't there? Ah, do you mean... what was he doing there on Fresno Street that day in the first place? Well, according to the man's testimony, he said he was investigating Inspector Gregson, didn't he? Turns out that little room was actually the inspector's secret office. Oh, that sounds like it has all the makings of a wonderfully devilish plot. Then why was that notice board in there covered in all those particular papers? Papers about cases with a link to the Reaper. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all this. Oh dear, that sounds more like something horribly devilish. We must start by looking into Inspector Gregson's movements of late. Which I'm sure Mr. Vigil would know. Probably, maybe. Never imagined I might have to be investigating an Inspector's movements. Well, according to the entry in... Oh, we have his diary, too. He was carrying out an incognito investigation of the Redhead League the day before his death. Oh, you mean he was doing the same as Hurley? Well, Mr. Sholmes was trying to apply, whereas the Inspector was supposed to be investigating. Do wish it had been the other way around. Anyway, as it turns out, the Inspector who went to investigate the Redhead League that day wasn't actually Gregson at all. It was Mr. Vigil in possession of Gregson's identification. You know what that sounds like to me? Establishing an alibi. Oh my, yes, you're absolutely right, Iris. But why would Gregson need an alibi? It appeared that the Inspector had something to do that he wished to keep secret. I don't believe it. I always thought you was just a harmless lover of fish and chips. Perhaps they were seasoned with something a little more potent than salt and vinegar. Think perhaps we should try to move away from food analogies. Anyway, if Lord Van Zieks felt the need to investigate Gregson. Yes, I agree. We must try to find out what he knows. Vigil, you say? Isn't that the name of the lady who came to visit Hurley yesterday? That's right. To ask Mr. Sholmes if he would help her to find her missing husband. Only Mr. Sholmes completely passed the buck to us. Actually, didn't you say that Mr. Vigil had been taken to hospital? You know which one? Ah, it's St. Sinners. I'm starting to wonder if all of the other hospitals in London have closed down. That's amazing, Runo. You found the lady's husband already. Well, I suppose I have. By accident. 10 years ago, while Mr. Vigil was the chief warder at the prison, he was responsible for overseeing the professor's incarceration. No! So when the convict escaped, he was held responsible and immediately dismissed. Sometimes I really don't want to grow up. There's more. For 10 years after that, while he was ostensibly working as a peddler, he also had another secret job. He was paid by Gregson to be a stand-in, to impersonate the inspector. To impersonate Grexy, but why? I have absolutely no idea. I mean, sort of already talked about this, but it's as an alibi, right? Ginny was right. I'm starting to think all the adults are up to no good now. I think it's because Gregson's just investigating something so dangerous, right? And something conspiratorial, I imagine, dealing with the Reaper and government. Including you, Runo. I haven't paid anyone to impersonate me. That means he has ties to the professor and to Inspector Gregson, though. So I do think we ought to pay a visit to Mr. Vigil, don't you? Back to St. Sinners, then. Fantastic. Let's go. Well, I think it's clear what we need to do, isn't it? Let us investigate, my dear fellows. Oh, Iris, you're even more enthusiastic than usual today. If anyone has anything to hide, my special Wilson shooting iron will soon set them straight. That water pistol? It's stuffed full of piping hot extra special blend of mine. I'm quite sure it'll be very effective. I better be careful not to hide anything. Well, it feels a little strange that Mr. Sholmes is nowhere to be seen, but still. Let's go and see what we can find out. Fantastic. Time to get moving. Let's go talk to Vigil. He's not here. This notice caught my eye before, actually. Suppose it's some sort of slogan for the ward? Cheerful welcome message, perhaps. Let's see. Pay with good cheer, leave with good cheer. Look at that. You were spot on, Mrs. Sato. It's full of cheer. Wonder how many discharged patients pay their medical bills with good cheer, though. Once I had to have a very painful injection when I fell ill with a cold. Felt awful already, so why did I have to suffer the sting of the injection as well as the bill? I yelled at the doctor. Oh dear, what terrible treatment. I wonder if he's just laying in the other bed? No. Windows. This note. These must be the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Tendency to jump from windows. Remember to place cushion at base of wall outside. Hilarious. Aren't we a story up from the ground here? Oh dear. Poor Mr. Vigil. Can't help feeling that there's a better solution to the problem than a cushion, though. Finding something you'd lost isn't always a happy experience, it turns out. Pursuing the truth can be very dark business sometimes, can't it? Yes, I'm afraid it can. Alright, what else we got? All sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look, I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this. Yes, you're right. Can't imagine if you were peckish. We always have this conversation too. That's okay. Anything else? This note here? Nope. This note here. Ah, patient treatment notes. What do these say, I wonder? Endlessly obliging. Suppose that's referring to the patient in this bed. I would think so. Until Mr. Vigil's a little more stable. It's probably just as well that he has a kindly person in the neighboring bed. The endlessly part is a little worrying, though, isn't it? I mean, what if Mr. Vigil suddenly declared that he'd like to take a trip out the window? Exactly. Would this endlessly obliging patient simply open it for him and say, "Be my guest"? Let's check with the doctor later. Now we have this cabinet as well. This is pretty much the same. Yeah. Alright, so Mr. Vigil has seemingly escaped the hospital. I don't know where he's at. I'm gonna go, I think next, unless they tell us something different, I'm gonna go check the crime scene again. That seems kind of reasonable. Alright. Actually, we need to talk to Van Zeeks too, and it does say we haven't been there in some time, so let's do this actually. Our boy, the goat. Lord Van Zeeks is reading, look. He doesn't seem like he wants visitors, does he? But he must have noticed that we're here, surely. Come on, buddy. What do you Nipponese want? There's no way to greet the lawyers trying his hardest to prove your innocence, is it? Perhaps not. Hmm? I apologize. So what can I do for you, Mr. Ryu? Lord Van Zeeks, speaking earnestly. Oh, the fog will lift over London for the first time in months tomorrow. This does feel very... This is a hell freeze over thing. Very, very strange. He's coming around. He's starting to like us. You can tell. I must say I was impressed. Oh? Well, thank you. Not by you. By your fellow Nipponese, your prosecutor friend. Oh, I see, yes. It's sardonic, don't you think? For a man such as me, so loathing the Nipponese to be entirely at the mercy of the two of you. I suppose... it's retribution for having played the part of the Reaper all these years. Play the part? Time to get talking. You once told me that you gladly allowed people to believe you were the Reaper, because it helped reduce the amount of serious crime that took place in London. If keeping quiet and playing the part benefits the cause, cause I myself am committed to pursuing, then why would I choose to say anything? The henchman of a criminal killed by the Reaper attacked you only the other day. That was just the most recent of many attempts on your life, wasn't it? Someone is surely clearly profiting from your silence about all this. Someone is using you. Believe me, ever since the Reaper first appeared, I've been doing my utmost to expose him. Or rather, expose the organization. Ah, it's a whole organization. It's inconceivable that all those accidents were orchestrated by one man. No, the Reaper always appears to have very accurate information about the accused in each case, which can only mean that somebody at Scotland Yard is involved. Someone at... You can't mean... It's taken me many years, but I've finally identified the central figure in this Reaper organization. Tobias Gregson. No way, I don't believe that for a second. No! Gregson, the Reaper. So, the reason you were investigating Inspector Gregson is because you intended to expose him as the Reaper? As I said, the Reaper of the Bailey is no single person. It's a highly secret organization with close ties to Scotland Yard. There's no doubt that Gregson was a key member of that organization. I don't believe it. Are you saying that, Grexy? That he was behind all those awful criminals meeting there? Gregson didn't do the dirty work himself. Oh. He was a tactician. His job was to covertly investigate the marks and plot their assassinations. In order to do that without arousing suspicion, he regularly needed a firm alibi. Just where Mr. Vigil came in, posing as the inspector. Vigil knows nothing of the Reaper, but the room he rents on Fresno Street was almost certainly the headquarters of the operation. Gregson would have met the assassin there for briefings. So we don't actually know who carried out the killings then. Actually, I do have a name. You what? Well, if you can name the man, you have the true identity of the Reaper already then. Or, if I can name the woman. Oh. She's a young woman by the name of Asa Shin. That's one of the names from the list. Gregson was on the list, Shin was on the list, Mikatoba I think was on the list maybe. Who else was on the list? Asogi? Wait, what? Shin? That's right, that was her! Yeah! She was the Reaper? She came to Japan posing as a visiting student and murdered Dr. John H. Wilson. His name was on the list. Then, just when it seemed that diplomatic protection would help her escape Japan and conviction, she was murdered. The mysterious woman was herself murdered in a small summer beach hut. And that woman was actually the Reaper. That one was actually the Reaper of the Bailey? Mr. Ryu! This perhaps isn't the place to discuss. No, of course not. We can't mention it here. The fact that she killed Dr. John H. Wilson. Yeah, because that's Iris's father. And Iris doesn't know. Because Iris doesn't know, and it's very likely that the man was her father. Asa Shin, I should let father know at once. Yes, I agree. Kazuma, isn't it? Kazuma Asogi. You say he's a friend of yours. My best friend. He's the whole reason I got to come to Britain. It was all in his merits. I have nothing but respect for him. Yes, I understand that only the very best students are selected for such opportunities. And I had a fine demonstration of how sharp he is in the proceedings earlier today. He missed nothing. In fact, his flawless performance very much reminded me of his father. Genshin Asogi, the professor. It's true that the aristocracy at the time was the root of numerous grave societal problems. They were abusing their power, playing with the common man as pawns in politics, in economics, and war. In many ways, Asogi was carving out a canker from society that we British couldn't deal with ourselves. I see. But that's precisely why it makes no sense. Clint Van Zieks was a noble and upstanding man. He wasn't corrupt. Why did that damn Nipponese have to go and take my brother's life? In spite of having once saved mine. You saved your life? How did that happen? Interesting. It was 10 years ago, on a foggy night. What was to be the professor's final strike had sent a wave of panic through the capital. So Clint Van Zieks had already been killed at this point then. Genshin and I were walking down some back streets at a late hour. Of course, at that point, I had no idea of the true nature of the man at my side. All of a sudden, we were surrounded. All of our assailants were armed with pistols, their faces obscured by scarves. Clint was not only from noble heritage, he was a brilliant prosecutor as well. The scum of London hated the sight of him, and they had no sympathy for his younger brother either. I've been targeted several times before already. I could hear them murmuring amongst themselves. I knew they were after me. But just when I thought my time had come, it was Asogi's voice, just a whisper in my ear. After that, I don't remember exactly what happened. The next thing I knew, there was silence all around. Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He'd shielded me. Two days later, they arrested him, on suspicion of being London's most notorious mass murderer ever, the Professor. How awful for you! All at once, I lost the brother I revered and the foreign friend I held in such high regard. I really feel like he's innocent as well, Father Asogi, and that he was framed after that incident in the street. I'm so sorry, Lord Van Zieks. That's the end of my miserable tale. I never thought I'd recount it to anyone. Well, thank you for confiding in me. Professor, the Reaper, and Inspector Gregson. I wonder just how intimately related they all are. Still can't quite believe that Gregson was essentially the Reaper, giving assassination orders to Giselle Brett. Mr. Reed, let's go and inform my father. I'm sure our government will want to hear about this new information. Oh, that means I get to meet your daddy, Susie! Hooray! Yes, alright. Let's head back to the Great Waterloo Hotel then. Fantastic. This is going to be our last location today as well. I thought it yesterday and I think it again today. This place is so princely. It's a wild guess, but I have a feeling you'll think the same tomorrow too. My tea has a finer fragrance than whatever they're serving in the tea room here though, wouldn't you say? This Mikotoba? Yeah. Ah! Father! Oh, is this your daddy, Susie? How lovely! What a charming young lady! And you are? Here we go. Time to give him the news. Oh, really? So you're the author of The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, are you? That's me! Iris Wilson, at your service, sir. Susie's been such a wonderful friend to me over the last year, you know. Well, Miss Wilson, I must say I read your work regularly and with much interest. Iris actually lives with Mr. Sholmes, you know, Father. Is that so? Well, perhaps that goes some way to explaining that bright look in your eyes. Hee hee. Terrible. You wouldn't be smiling so early if you knew just how bright she is, believe me. Now then, young Ryo, it was a pleasure seeing you in action earlier. As an invitee of the symposium, I was allowed to observe from the gallery, after I twisted some arms, and I must say, it was a truly exemplary performance. Oh, well, thank you very much. Although I'm fairly sure you omitted by Kazuma in there. No, please don't misunderstand. It was you who impressed me. Really? You didn't miss a step against Asogi, and we all know how capable he is. Really, to have matured into such a fine defense lawyer in less than a year is quite extraordinary. It's very kind of you to say so. Really nice to hear. What I saw in court today confirmed what I'd been hoping for. The favor I mentioned yesterday, Ryo. I trust you haven't forgotten. Oh, no, you did mention something, didn't you? But first, we have something to report, Father. Of course. Shall we take tea while we discuss matters further? I wonder where Judge Jigoku has got to. Father, do you know about the so-called Reaper of the Bailey? I've heard rumors. Some members of the judiciary explained it all to me yesterday. Of course, when I was a visiting student here in London, the Reaper was yet to emerge. Right, he didn't appear until after that case when the visiting students had already returned home. Lord Van Zieks, who was in the dock today. That was Barak, the younger brother of Clint Van Zieks, I believe. That's right, and he's known throughout London as the Reaper, as you've heard. But the truth is, it wasn't him behind all of those mysterious deaths. It was somebody else. I see. So what you're saying is there's been a professional killer at work here. Exactly. Someone by the name of Asa Shin, in fact. I beg your pardon. Did you say Asa Shin? You mean that Giselle Brett woman who's responsible for killing my great friend? Oh no, a friend of yours was killed? Professor Mikotoba, I think perhaps we shouldn't discuss this right now. Because the friend the professor is talking about is Dr. John H. Wilson. That's not something we want ours to find out about, not like this, anyway. Let's talk about it. I just remembered something. Biscuits! This hotel has the most delicious looking biscuits. That was rather out of the blue. She's doing this deliberately. Think I'll go and see if I can purchase some. I wonder, would you like to come too, Iris? Oh, yes. You just try to leave me behind. So that young girl is called Iris Wilson, is she? Yes, that's right. She's the author of all those adventure stories starring the great Detective Sholmes. The name of the credited author isn't Iris, is it? It's Dr. John H. Wilson. Yes, I know. That's the name of her father, you see. Her father? Dr. John H. Wilson. I was deeply indebted to the man for all the kindness he showed me during my time in London. That's why I was keen to reciprocate and invite him to Imperial Yume University 4 years ago. He was murdered last year by Giselle Brett. Why would the hand of the Reaper stretch all the way to Japan? Iris knows nothing about that case, but it seems very likely that the victim, Dr. Wilson, was her father. Well, I can't say that we ever spoke about his family, so I don't know if he had a daughter or not. But I think I can say with some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner. So it could have been another Dr. Wilson, you think? Well, John and Wilson are both common names after all. Still, it's probably best not to mention this to the young lady until we can be sure. That's what we thought, yes. We're back with cinnamon biscuits. Oh, they smell delicious, Iris. I think cinnamon will go very well with the tea they serve here. Don't you, Susie? Yes, I'm sure you're right, Iris. Let's find out where the judge is at. Haven't seen Judge Goku in a while, have you? That guilty is still ringing in my ears. No, now you mention it, I haven't seen him since this morning either. I suppose since the symposium's opening was postponed, he'll have gone to explore the great exhibition. That reminds me of something you mentioned yesterday. About Judge Goku having once been in the dock himself? Yes, it was all tied up with that accursed trial. Close trial of Kazuma's father. Shishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. Oh my! He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire for which he was charged. Oh dear, although it's worryingly easy to imagine him doing that. Well, it was all right. In the end, he was acquitted and we returned home to Japan together. Thank goodness! Yes, talking to Shishiro. I have a copy of the photograph we all took together yesterday, please. Oh, what a lovely picture! Certainly seems to shout, we've arrived in Britain. Interesting. Why is that in evidence? What's going to be the significance of that? None of us had any idea what was coming when we took that, did we? Let's look at it real quick. Anything stand out about this? We can't rotate it or anything like that. Nothing seems to stand out. They both have this little pin on their necks. We all have it. I don't know. We have different ones. He's holding that in his hand. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's so true. Alright, let's talk about the favor. So you mentioned a favor that you'd like to ask me. Well, this fateful trial that you're fighting, one way or another, it will be over before long. And when it is, I'd like you to accompany me back to Japan. You want me to do... What? But father, what's the meaning of this? Now, Sasada, you should understand. You've seen how our courts work firsthand. Japan's judicial system is in its infancy, especially when it comes to defense. Oh, you mean... Supreme Court of Judicature is in desperate need of a good defense lawyer. As soon as possible. Really quite urgently, in fact. But I've not even been in London a year yet. Read all of Sasada's reports, I'm well aware of your extraordinary talents. Having seen you in action with my own eyes earlier today, there's no question. You, Ryu, are precisely the man our country needs. Well, that's nice. So, you'd be leaving then, Runo? But then, what am I supposed to do, Father? You came here to serve as Asogi's judicial assistant. Oh yes, she's supposed to be Kazuma's assistant. Government is still in the process of deciding how best to deal with this situation, though. You've always chosen your own path, Sasato, and I trust your judgment. In this matter also. Father! Please, the pair of you, don't look so downcast. It's merely a suggestion, you understand. I hope, if I'm honest, that I won't force you. All I ask is that you consider it, and come to a decision by the time this trial concludes. Yes, alright. Interesting, going back to Japan as Ryu would be interesting for sure. You won't leave, will you, Runo? It's hard to imagine leaving. Thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Up until now, I've just been trying to do what I believed to be Kazuma's will. Turns out, and he's still alive, so where does that leave me? Well, if you'll excuse me now, I need to telegram government ministers and the Japanese police with this information about Asa's Shin. Of course, Father. Thank you. I look forward to next month's installment, Miss Wilson. Oh good, and please do come to Baker Street sometime, won't you? We'd love to entertain you. I would be delighted. The best of luck for tomorrow, Ryu. And give my suggestion your full consideration, won't you? Yes, I will. Going back home? Now what? You know, we still have to find Vigil. Kazuma has always meant a great deal to my father. I'm sure he'd love the chance to meet with him and talk to him about all of this. Yes, no doubt. How could I have neglected to consider the possibility before now? Mr. Sholmes. Riley, where have you been? Why, I joined you all for tea, of course. What an extraordinary question. I didn't notice you at all. No matter anyway, to more pressing concerns, Mr. Ryu. Oh, yes? I must dispatch a telegram to your country at once. It is a matter of much urgency. To Japan, you mean? Tell me, to whom can I entrust the task? Quickly now, who? Well... My father has just now left to send a telegram to the Imperial Police Bureau of Japan himself. I see. Well, he looked reliable enough for a bearded fellow. I don't think that father's sports could be considered a beard, Mr. Sholmes. There is not a moment to lose. Kindly ask your trusty unshaven father to see this is sent. I will, but what is it? No questions at this time, if you please, Miss Osato. All we can do is pray that for once, my deduction is awry. Oh no. Doesn't that imply that your deductions are normally correct, Mr. Sholmes? Which isn't exactly. Now then! You may be surprised to learn that I am a very busy man. I certainly have no time to hide behind settees and eavesdrop on other people's conversations. So that's what joining us for tea meant. I leave the sending of this in your hands then, my dear fellows. He's gone, in a flash. Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Sholmes. Just sort of ran off, didn't he? At quite a pace. And left the unpaid bill for his tea behind, too. I must catch up with father at the telegraph office. At once. And I run and call us a cab. Straight away. We're all alone. There was me thinking everyone would be clamoring to pay Mr. Sholmes' bill. Hilarious. That's actually a good bit. Do we have that note with us, or they took it with them? Okay. Alright, that's all we're doing today. Next time we're going... I'm not sure where. I guess Lord Chief Justice's office is an option. Yeah. Back to the hospital as well, it looks like. So next time we're going to at least go to those two places and see if we find anything. But that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all are amazing. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Make sure you take care of others. And I will see you next time. Peace out.